Good evening, everyone. This is Spooky Time with Spooky Teagues. In this story, we'll hear about how a young girl going on a camping trip loses her way and gets chased by an unknown entity. Lila had always been adventurous, so when her friends invited her to join them on a camping trip in the woods, she jumped at the chance. Lila and her friends drove 30 miles out into a desolate forest. The ride to the campsite was peaceful. However, Lila's excitement for the trip grew more and more the closer they got to the site. The group set up their tents in a secluded, clear space surrounded by towering trees and the eerie sounds of the forest at night. As darkness fell, Lila decided to go for a walk on her own, feeling the pull of the forest calling to her. Her friends warned her not to wander off alone, but Lila brushed off the warning since they're always protective of her. So tonight, Lila gave into her adventurous spirit, and she wandered deeper and deeper into the woods, the trees closing in around her like gnarled fingers reaching out to grab her. Suddenly, Lila realized she had lost her way in what seemed to be a forest maze. Panic set in as she frantically tried to retrace her steps, but the forest seemed to shift and change around her, making it impossible for her to find her way back to the campsite. That's when she heard it, a low, guttering growl that sent shivers down her spine. Lila's heart pounded in her chest as she picked up her pace, knowing that something sinister was lurking in the shadows, hunting her. Branches snapped and leaves rustled behind her, and Lila could feel the presence of something watching her from the darkness. She ran as fast as she could, but the forest seemed to stretch out endlessly around her, trapping her in a nightmare she couldn't escape. As she stumbled through the undergrowth, terror gripping her every step, Lila caught a glimpse of glowing eyes in the shadow. A creature, tall and twisted, stalked towards her with a menacing grin on its face. Lila screamed and ran, the sound of her own frantic breath echoing in her ears. But the creature was relentless, its rasping breath hot on her neck as it closed in on her. Just when she thought all hope was lost, a beam of light broke through the forest, illuminating a path to safety. Lila ran towards it, her heart racing and her lungs burning with exertion, until she finally burst out of the woods and into the clearing where her friends had been searching and waiting for her. "Lila, we were looking for you," one of her friends said as they embraced her. Lila was still out of breath from her harrowing ordeal in the woods. Lila's friends knew the legend of the forest, the tale of a malevolent spirit that had preyed on those who dared to wander too far from safety. However, they forgot to mention it to Lila. And as Lila looked back into the dark depths of the woods, she knew that she had faced something truly terrifying that night, something that would haunt her dreams for the rest of her days. Thank you guys for listening in. This has been another spooky story, actually the first spooky story, with Spooky Teagues. Please let me know in the comments if you want more stories like this. Thanks again for tuning in and listening. See ya.